The Genius Club with Perari Pine. Chapter 51. Unity is Strength. Earlier, by asking the employees from the safe company, Alex learned that an oxyacetylene cutting torch could be used to violently cut open a safe. Similarly, the safe in his dream could definitely be cut open too. He turned on his computer and began searching for relevant information. According to online encyclopedias, an oxyacetylene cutting torch is an ultra-high temperature gas cutting method widely used in various industrial fields. It is mainly used for quickly cutting irregular steel products, such as steel coils, steel ingots, steel frames, and other steel products that are not easy to fix. Its principle is very simple. First, 2 tanks of high-pressure liquefied gas are needed. 1 tank of liquefied acetylene and 1 tank of liquid oxygen. These are also the main combustion raw materials for the cutting torch. The 2 tanks of liquefied gas are connected to a high-pressure spray gun with hoses. After adjusting to the appropriate pressure and gas output ratio and igniting it, a fiercely spraying and burning flame knife is formed, roaring loudly. Its shape is similar to the flame of an ordinary windproof lighter, but its length is dozens of times longer. At the flame core of the high-speed spraying flame, the temperature reaches as high as 3,000 degrees Celsius. This temperature is far higher than the melting point of steel, 1,500 degrees Celsius, which can easily melt steel into molten steel, essentially completing the cutting process. Alex searched for some videos of cutting safes on video websites, and without exception, all of them were completed using oxyacetylene cutting torches. When the high-speed spraying incandescent flame came into contact with the safe, it sank in as if it were entering tofu. Countless tiny burning sparks sprayed out. It only took 10 seconds to cut the entire safe open. The solidified molten steel at the cut, glowing faintly red, seemed to sigh powerlessly in the face of absolute high temperature. He had seen the safe in his dream many times. 80% of its paint had chipped off, and there were layers of rust inside. It clearly looked very old. Since it could rust, it must be made of steel, with a melting point not exceeding 1,500 degrees Celsius. Cutting it with an oxyacetylene cutting torch would be completely problem-free. Alex searched for more information. The technology of this oxyacetylene cutting torch is already very mature and popular. It can be bought casually at any construction site or steel market, and even on online shopping platforms. Almost every small shop on the street that makes steel frame signs has one. Since this thing is so popular, it will definitely be easy to find in the dream. Alex recalled that he had actually seen this thing countless times in his life. When he was in elementary school, he and Ryan would pass a street on their way to and from school. The workers there often used electric welding and oxyacetylene cutting torches when welding steel frame signs. Both of these tools were extremely bright when used, and would spark hot iron fragments, so the workers covered their entire faces with those bulky goggles. Alex and Ryan, who passed by, would often accidentally glance at them, resulting in black spots in their vision for a long time, just like staring directly at the sun. Alex turned off his computer and began thinking about his plan after entering the dream at night. Finding the oxyacetylene cutting torch equipment in the dream won't be a problem. The key is how to transport such heavy and cumbersome things to the bank warehouse. The 2 tanks of liquefied gas were very heavy. Each required 2 people to carry, meaning at least 4 people were needed to carry out the operation. Moreover, it wasn't just the 2 tanks of gas that were needed. They also had to take gas hoses, spray guns, goggles, All in all, at least 5 or 6 people were needed to complete this complex task. 5 or 6 people? Where can I find so many accomplices in the dream? Even if he counted Big Face Cat and Cece, if the two put aside their past grievances, cooperated unprecedentedly, plus himself, that was only 3 people. Should I include Big Face Cat's 3 underlings? Alex thought of those 3 underlings who died as soon as they appeared, the greedy eldest brother, the second brother who seduced the boss wife, and the third brother who tried to double-cross and betray the organization. Can these incompetent fools be trusted? Just thinking about Big Face Cat's motley crew of underlings made Alex frown involuntarily. But he had no other choice for the time being. He had to take a gamble. To complete the plan, I have to unite this group of people with ulterior motives and bad intentions to work together in harmony. This is really a huge project. Alex closed his eyes and began thinking about his plan to violently cut the safe after entering the dream that night. 1. Find a way to persuade Big Face Cat and Cece to put aside their past grievances, let go of their hostility, shake hands and make peace, and reach an agreement on cooperation. 2. Led Big Face Cat and Cece to find the oxyacetylene cutting torch equipment, then load it onto a van and transport it to the target bank. 3. Stop Big Face Cat's plan to clean house. Use his 3 underlings as laborers and carry the 2 tanks of liquefied high-pressure gas to the bank warehouse. 4. Assemble all the parts of the cutting torch, perform high-temperature cutting, and successfully open the safe. Well, this is logically sound. The password no longer matters now. The oxyacetylene cutting torch with a high temperature of 3000 degrees Celsius is the absolute correct password. For the first time in a long while, Alex got off work on time and went home. After eating a simple dinner, he watched TV for a while, then prepared to enter his dream. He had been wandering in this dream for more than 20 years, so he naturally knew where the building material markets and stores were. Finding an oxyacetylene cutting torch would be a piece of cake. The only possible mistake was whether Big Face Cat and Cece would cooperate obediently. Fortunately, he had a god's eye view and enough chips to negotiate with the 2 of them. It shouldn't be a problem. He washed up, turned off the lights, and lay down on the bed. Let's go. Whoosh. The familiar summer breeze brushed against his face. Alex hadn't felt this warmth in his dreams for a long time. His body instantly warmed up. He glanced at the electronic bulletin board next to him. August 28, 2000, 6:24, 21:42. The surrounding environment, crowds, and scenes were the same as usual. Alex estimated that once Professor Hughes's paper was publicly published, human technology would definitely develop by leaps and bounds. At that time, this square in his dream would surely undergo earth-shaking changes. Whether it was the level of technology, the surrounding buildings, people's living conditions, or even the toys of the children in the square, everything would become completely different. This dream, which has remained unchanged for 23 years, is finally about to undergo a complete transformation. At that time, will this square still exist? What will the surrounding scenes look like? Thinking about soon having to say goodbye to all the familiar things here, Alex felt a little reluctant. Then while there's still time, let's open the safe. I'm really curious what's hidden inside. Looking east, the 2 brothers who were shouting, "Ultraman and Ultraman," threw away their masks and ran off. Alex stepped forward, picked up the Ultraman mask from the ground, and put it on his face. Then he walked towards the fat figure getting out of the van. Big face cat, huh? The fleshy face wearing the Rhine cat mask turned around. Slap, thought I. Alex put his right hand on his shoulder, brought his mask close, and listened to me carefully. I have something very important to tell you.